Somebody said, I really wish other comic book runs were as easy to read and collect as Invincible. And I think that one of the reasons why Invincible in the long run is going to end up being one of the best comic book runs ever is because of the fact that the creators of Invincible actually did something that could have held the comic book industry a long time ago. They took the business model of manga. You know what happens when a new manga comes out and it's actually popular and it's actually popping and it's actually selling and it's actually making numbers? What they do is they get excited over the fact that their manga is actually, gonna help them support their lifestyle and help them, keep innovating in their industry and create other projects down the line. But they don't see that as an opportunity to make infinite money. It's not an infinite money glitch for them. All mangas start, they get developed over the years, and then they end, unless they're One Piece. But for the majority of the part, they do have an ending eventually. When you think of your books as stories that actually have finish lines, you can look back at them over time and realize that maybe you have stories that have the opportunity to be timeless. But when you think of your books as the opportunity to reset a fictional universe over and over and over and over and over again, that's where you eventually end up at a point where the character that you created and the intentions that you had for that character, for what kind of life you wanted to develop for that character, end up eventually being something that is not even remotely close for what the character was supposed to be in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love Marvel, I do love DC, I do love their models of having their characters live in a shared universe, and sometimes they do be finding ways of making their soft reboots interesting. But for the majority of the time, I do think that their priority should be creating interesting plot lines for these characters, planning out exactly what you want, what kind of stories you want to execute for these type of characters, and then having a shared fictional universe should be the benefit of having these plot lines cross over each other over the years. But let me know what you think about this in the comments.